Hello everyone. It's 2 a.m. in the morning or in the night. You can say which way do you prefer. And I might cite a bit melancholic to you because I've just watched a video regarding SpongeBob. It's been actually a glorious part of my lifetime. And the video is about the analysis why the SpongeBob got so fame or so famous. So it right from our childhood it becomes a still what can recognizable face in 20s or sometimes even 30s of our face. So why is that? So I watched a video. Let me open a Firefox instance, sticking it to left. And but before beginning our JavaScript playlist, I just want to give you at a peek about the video that I've just watched. I was also watching my CCNA video. Then I moved to actually I searched for the square pants theme, and then where I been to? Actually, I got recommended stuff and stuff and stuff, and then I reached to that video about SpongeBob. Let's see if I ask SpongeBob. Yes, the video was this. I won't play this because it will certainly
A
give
list
me
of
a
themes with
copyright.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's okay.
So Mr. Krabs.
Yes, this was the video. I advise you guys to just watch this video at least up to 20 minutes or something, because that was the golden part of the video. Actual stuff starts from the fifth or sixth minute, and the actual stuff is up to 20 or 22 seconds. Actually, the whole video was worth watch, but I am specifically pointing that moments of time because that's where the video hits you right in the face. It was so melancholic experience. Let me give you a spoiler because in order to generate some curiosity, spoilers are necessary. So the spoiler is something like that the when we were child, we see ourselves in SpongeBob, but when we grow, we see ourselves in Squidward, doing the same old repetitive task. Because we have always told to, because habits makes a man perfect or repetition makes a man perfect, and this is nailed in our brain, forcefully nailed in our brain, creating a work culture, you can say. So actually, there's a funny thing or funny meme about it also, that schools are designed to prepare kids for 9 to 5 job, and it also keeps the kids so their parents can do their 9 to 5 jobs, which quite hilarious in my mind and actually true. So I might sound a bit melancholic. So I would advise you to watch this kind of video, and this kind of video will certainly make much more sense if you use an extension like the jump cutter that I've purposely disabled it because I also uh, as I just told you that I'm also hearing some songs as well. So these kind of videos where the content is sparsely populated, you must use this kind of extension to save time or watch a video twice, because if watching the same video twice, you may encounter some hidden details that you have missed in your first watch. So without any further delay, let's go to our Geek for Geek session and continue it as a 9 to 5 job. But actually, it's not a 9 to 5 job to me because I am purposely or passionately driven to it. It was not forced by any means. So I actually enjoy this. Let's continue without any further talks. Maybe I sounded a bit more melancholic than I implied to. So, guys, please comment, have you heard the album The Wall by Pink Floyd? If not, still, till the life, it's a must lesson in your life. You must at least give it a try. Okay. Now, without any further delay or talking about here and there, इधर उधर की बातें, we will continue to our JavaScript events. Opening our most favorite note-taking application, the VS Code, and continuing with JavaScript event, the first page of JS events. That is JavaScript events. Now another tab for chat, not ChatGPT, but Bing Chat for sure. Okay, and here I was learning for the CCNA. Actually, I was watching my old videos in order to revise it. So we will come to that part later in the video. And because this is a new thing and it isn't much, so I am targeting to complete is as much as possible. If possible, I will cover all the JavaScript events in this single video. But let's go forward by checking the size of the article. So let's start. Let's start then. JavaScript events are actions or occurrences that happen in the browser, can be triggered by both user interaction and the browser itself. Common events include mouse clicks, keyboard presses, page loads, form submission, etc. Event handlers are JavaScript function that responds to these events. Okay, so the events are ongoing thing. They happens all the time. Whenever a user clicks his mouse, presses his keyboard buttons, pages loads, form submits, etc. But we initiate event handler to respond. Okay, and what will event handlers will do? Without any further reading this, I can certainly tell this that the event handler will trigger a function when an event will occur, and I am very sure that the same will be written. Action to be performed, and what will be action? Certainly running a function. So next is on click, triggered when an element is clicked. On mouse over, fire when mouse over hovers a mouse out, occurs when pointer leaves an element. I think we have done extensive website copy pasting and running the website live for these kind of things. Okay, so if there is some HTML code given, we will certainly try that again. On key down when key is pressed, on key up when key is released, on change, on load, on submit. Okay, on focus, on blur. And yes, we do have HTML, but we also got some, what they say, GIF representation as well. Okay, example 2, you will change the color by pressing up. Okay, the input box will change color when up arrow key is pressed. Okay, the function for this would be change background, which is a function which is document dot get element by id, which is bg, x dot style dot background color is equal to rgb. A plus, we are actually incrementing the redness, B plus blueness, and C plus, which is greenness, which stands for RGB. Okay, so A would be incremented to 100, B would be incremented to 100 plus 50, and C would be incremented to A. If this is more than, then A minus B, and if this is this. Okay, so let's ask the explanation for the code above using our GPT. Let's say what it has to write, because right now it's still not able to say anything. Why GPT? Why you're taking so long? Okay, so here's the breakdown of the JavaScript function. We are initializing 3 values. We are defining set the background color of an element with id bg. So we have to define the id bg, and to RGB. Okay, so we are setting the RGB value But I still don't get why we are plus A plus B plus C plus. I think we have already learnt quite something about adding plus sign before and plus sign after. So it will first update the value and this then enter the result. Okay. And there we have set the conditional resets. Let's ask the chat GPT why is written with plus sign before and after. Okay. Okay, so here it is a concatenation. Okay. The plus signs before and after are concatenating the string elements, takes the value and convert them to strings and place them into RGB string. Good, a nice thing that I knew today. Next, okay. And the event handlers are function executed in response to a specific event occurring in the browser. Okay. My function button clicked. Okay. And we have good and finished with this one. So let's ask for some quiz. For anyone wondering why I'm using Bing GPT or Bing Chat much more than the Chat GPT, is because of the UI, how slick everything feels. I am very much excited to build a website or a clone of this thing using the same color that the Bing GPT is using. Actually, I'm in love with this format and color. And the Microsoft, what they say, acrylic glass theme is also looking great on this. So here, this is our first question. When our event is triggered when user clicks on click, self-explanatory too. Next, on mouse over, event occurs when a user hovers there. Yes, true. Next, which event occurs when the value of input element changes? Okay, on change, I think B. Quick, dear, quick. If it is taking so much time, then I will switch to ChatGPT. Okay, and the on focus event light input to gain focus. Yes, it's true. Come on, baby, ask me some false one too. Which event is triggers when a form is submitted? Obviously, on submit. The onload event occurs when a page has finished loading. It's still true. Will it throw a googly at me by answering such by asking such a difficult question? Which event occurs when a key is pressed down? On key down, B. On key up, it's still true. Let's say it true. Ask me harder questions. How would you prevent the default action? Oh, Bhagwan. Oh my God. This hard chat GPT can be you just by asking a prompt. Ask me harder question. How would you prevent the default action? I don't know. You tell me. Okay. Add event listener, submit function event dot prevent default. Okay. Okay, baby. Um, and I think I should add it to my note. Copy it, put it. Method when passed to the function parameter will prevent the default action of form submission. So let's ask it, will the above function stops the page from reloading? Yes, hence stopping the page reloading. Yes, let's ask me another question, and then we will switch to our different web page or the next web page if I say. Okay, so event delegation, list of item. Okay, JavaScript. Click function event. If target name, target dot tag name li, you clicked on this. Okay, 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 good. And I think we have done with this. Let's move to on click event. The HTML on click event occurs when the user clicks on an element. There are three ways to add on click events. Okay, object.onClick function this. Okay, object.add event listener click my script. This easiest method I think is to put the on click tag on whatever the element that you are deciding to. Next is using JavaScript. So we have to target the things by its ID name. Yeah, here GFG is mentioned. So document.getElement by dot on click is equal to run this function. Okay, and here the defining of function is. And third method is using add event listener. Okay, document or here we are again targeting this, and but this time we are using dot add event listener. Last time we used dot on click. Okay. DOM on HTML DOM on click supports all HTML elements except base, video, BR, head, HTML, iframe, meta, parameter, param, or script, style, and title. And here we also have a complete HTML DOM method. Should I visit it? Let's give it a side eye. But before that, ask for the quiz with ChatGPT as well. I think giving something side eye meant totally entirely different. No, I think it may mean that to ignore it. I'm very sure. Let's ask it again. What does giving side eye mean? Uh, Giving the side eye to someone is the same as side eyeing them, both are in common use. Okay. To cast a sidelong glance expresses skepticism, doubt, scorn, or criticism. Okay. So we will give it a glance then, not a side eye. So here we have a complete reference. Okay. You have method get named item remove name item is id length specified value assert clear count error group collapse end it. Remember guys, you don't have to remember each and every method listed in this very long list. You just have to build or create or make enough projects to able to use these things, because not every will or thing will be used. And if there's a requirement, certainly this thing exists in order to search you for whatever you are looking then by using the control and F button. So we will skip it for now, and if required, we will certainly try some project. I will certainly make some videos regarding the how the actual projects work. Despite making the project by on hand, I will do that, but behind the camera, not on front of the camera, because building a project actually takes time, and I'm not at that level skilled, so I can build every project and side by side explain you as well. So I will try explaining things, but building on the offside of camera. Okay. So I think we have completed the DOM on click event as per this website. Not exactly, but as per the website. And let's move to quiz. Copying this prompt and going to ChatGPT and asking the same. Let's see what our questions are. HTML attribute attached to an on-click event to an element. Which HTML attribute is used to attach an on-click event to an element? On-click event. I think C would be my correct guess. Not quite. The correct answer is on-click. Huh? What is this chatbot trying to say? Never mind. Let's leave it and continue to next. Let's forget it. Can you guys give me the English of maaf kar dena? Leave it. I have to search for this. Maaf kar dena. What does it mean? Maaf karna in English. And it is sorry. Okay, let's sorry the JPD for this. And next, the on-click event is triggered when an HTML is a collect. True, baby. Add event listener. Which you want to directly in consume best products. True. Ask me harder questions. Next, consider you have a button. Write a JavaScript to attach an on-click event to this button, which changes its text to clear and locks the event. Okay, and also logs the event to the console. Okay. So what I will do, I will copy this prompt, open a ChatGPT session, because instead of writing code, I love to analyze it. I don't know why. So we are getting the element by ID, which is my button. Was it my button? Yes, it was my button. Then we are assigning an on click event listener with a function with a parameter event, this dot text content equal to clicked and console.log event. And which changes text to click, and this dot text content. Okay. Will change the text content of an HTML element using event listener. Next, let's say spot on is perfect. Sending and then logging the event, nicely done. More advanced questions, please. And then we will move to next one. You have a list of items. You have to attach a single on-click event to using delegation. Okay, I think we got a code from the GPT. What was it? What was it? Mm, Did something change? Yeah. This is this one. Let's copy this and correct the code for this one. So we are get element by ID. Instead of parent, we are using item list here and add event listener click function event. If tag name li. Okay. Event dot target dot text content. Okay. Log delegation to log the text content. Okay. So we have to console dot log. Okay. Now consider you have a dynamically generated list of item added to same list. Write a JavaScript function to add new items to the list and ensure that the existing event delegation continue to work for the newly added item. Okay. And this kind of challenge should be given to ChatGPT, not to me. And here is the previous code. Let's ask it. Okay. First, let's remove the code from all this mess. Copy it to our what I say to this bare metal, and let's exemplify it. Documents dot get documents dot get element by ID. We are getting this. Adding a event listener click function, and if the function name is this is the list item. You clicked on this event dot target dot text content. Okay. So this was nothing new and nothing worth of our time. Next is function to add new items. Function add item text. Const new item equal to document dot create element list. New item dot text content equal to text, and document dot get element by ID item list dot append child. Okay, so we also learned about the append child method. One second. So then how we can say that the appended child will be a list? Okay, so we have created a new item. We are storing this new item in new item variable, and we are appending this new item to the item list parent. Okay, also have to write this method. Append child. Will append the new item within the parent on which it attached to. Okay. And next thing, document.get add item button, add events is a click function, and we are running this. So only required code is this for our chat GPT or Bing GPT. Let's see what this guy has to say. Now we have another challenge. You have an input field and button. When the button is clicked, it should add the text from the input field as a new item to the list. Okay. And I think now we have to write this code, but I think I missed something. So what this thing is doing, we are getting an element add item button. I think this was also the same, add item button. Okay, add in is a click pay. We will run a function called get element by item list child children dot length plus 1. Okay, item plus document item list plus children dot length plus 1. Okay, and add item new item text. But why we are using dot children dot length? However, you need to retrieve the value from the input field instead of hard coding the item text. Here's the refined version. New item text. Document dot get element by ID. Okay, new item text dot value. Okay, then if the new item text is present, if it's a true value, then run the following: add item new item text document.get element id new item text value is equal to input. Clear the input field. Okay, so what we have hard coded in this? Okay, so we have hard coded this item. Good, and I think that's enough for me right now. Let's switch to dbl click, and what the cinnamon toast is dbl click. Let's see. The html dom and ONDBL click event occurs on a double click by the user. All HTML elements are supported with the ONDBL click event except this. Okay. What is this? Okay. So it is short for on double click. And evaluation DBL click. Okay. And that's all for the on double click. Let's copy it. But here I recognize that here we have written ONDBL click event and on DBL click. Okay. And here we have just written the DBL click. Where it was. No. Here we have on DBL click, and in this session, yes, in this particular right of styling, we have written DBL click. Okay, so never mind. Let's continue with our chat GPT quiz session. Quiz me, copy the prompt and paste it here. Now, which HTML attribute is used to attach on double click event to an element? Quite self explanatory, just like the last one. Don't you think that that Microsoft should sprinkle some of this acrylic design on the VS Code as well? It will also look fantastic on this. The on double click is okay. The on double click is triggered when I even double click by user. True, but ask harder questions. You have a paragraph element that should change its background color to yellow when double click. Write the JavaScript to achieve using double click. Okay, so we have an ID text. Okay, let's modify this code. If I on double click, we have text add events listener on dbl click function. We have passing an event. Okay, and what would be the event? Event dot style name as actually I don't recall it. Let's copy it and pass this over ChatGPT and compare with our partially modified function. Okay, yes. So on dbe on double this dot style dot background color event dot, if I write this style dot background color yellow. No. Okay. So we don't have need to specify a condition. So we can just simply pass the parameter here. Let ask the GPT what's wrong with this code. Okay. Okay. I'm very sorry, guys. I got a sneeze in between. So let's pass it over. Okay. I'm getting repeated sneezes. I don't know why. Now I learned a new thing about dot query selector all. We'll select the all specified items at once. We are taking parameter as item and we are assigning on double click function to everyone. Okay. And let's see what the Bing GPT has to say. Okay, now it's time to add some animations. One second. So now we are adding a style. Can we do this entirely using JS without utilizing CSS? Okay. Copying this and then now asking the GPT. So what we are doing here is let opacity 1. So we are starting with full opacity. Then we are setting a const timeout. We are setting an interval with a function which if opacity is equal to 0 and a clear interval with a fade out. Okay, so we are using recursive, stop the interval, this dot remove the item from the DOM. Else opacity -5, decrease opacity, this dot style dot opacity opacity, set new opacity, and repeat every 25 millisecond. Okay, so we are decreasing the opacity gradually over 25 millisecond, hence uh, making it appear that it is fading. Clear interval with fade out. Okay, const fade out equal to set interval. Okay, okay, clear interval. Now I recognize two new things: set interval and clear interval. Good. I also have to write those two things too. Set interval, that's the interval, and second is clear interval. Clears the Sets the interval to a variable. Okay. Clears the previously set interval. Good. That's the interval x to param first function to run second uh, time in milliseconds. That's the interval to a variable. Let's proofread it using ChatGPT. Good. Next. I don't know why I kept 1 second. So I wrongly closed the GPT tab. Chakra you. Next is onload event. The HTML DOM onload event is a HTML occurs when an object has been loaded. The onload event is the most used within the body tag in order to run the script on the web page that it will load all the content completely. The onload event can be used to check the browser's type, browser version, load the version of the web page based on the information. The onload event can also be used for cookies. Okay, okay, okay. And now we have supported tags: a body, frame, iframe, image, input type, link, script, style, etc. Everything is supported here. And actually, we are done with the onload event too. So now we have 6 more events which we have to tackle. But before that, must be 247. So let's see how much time has been passed. Okay, almost 50 minutes has been passed. quite setting. So I may require a small break, and I will come back to this video, unpause this, and it will cover all the remaining 6 events as well in this following video. But before starting a break session, I will first answer these questions. Okay, which event had triggered when the browser finished loading? On load. A. Next, on again to run script as soon page loaded. Yes, it's true. Ask harder question. Next. So you have an image on your web page and you want to ensure that the certain JavaScript functions are executed only after the image has been fully loaded. Okay. So what we have to do is to get element this by its ID, my image, then assigns a function. So we can put a method here on load. Let's copy this, paste it, and we can simply add on load equal to quotation, and we can write console.log image fully loaded, and let's see, will it suffice? Okay, and I missed a thing, and that changes to image border to again close it. It's clear, but the minus issue is that there's a corrected version. Okay. Okay, and yes, let's ask for a new challenge. Next challenge, please. Div element with a button fully respond to automatically trigger a function that changes the background of the div to blue. Okay. So what I will do is to copy the previous code and try to make the alterations. It will work. Write the JavaScript to handle the onload event of the window. ID is color box this time. So ID is color box. Okay. Okay. Function onload. What we have to do? This dot style dot. One second. This is a color box. Okay. Okay. So we have to use the function that with a style in it. I think we already used that kind of thing. Let me search for that. One second. We have CSS. Yes, this dot style dot. Instead of background color, what I can do is uh, background color. Okay. So instead of using the border color, we can use the background color. And I think we don't need to require any console log. Okay. onload event needs to be attached to the window object since it triggers when the entire page has loaded. Here's the corrected version. Okay. So I've written the code as close as possible. So I missed the writing blue instead of green. So we have mistakes here and there, and that is how we learn anything, coding, music, or anything that you. And the part about music is see the Squidward. Mhm. Again, this scene from the same video that Squidward wants to be a musician and how he struggle with his daily 9 to 5 jobs and etc. That's a very good thing. And let's pause the stream for a while and we will continue it. So see you guys again after a break. But the break will only for me, not for you. Enough rest for me, guys. Time to continue with our on resize event. But let me first my on. Let's continue. On resize event. The on resize event occurs on the browser window resize on the body tag supported this event. So to get the size of the window, we can use client width, client height, inner width, inner height, outer width, outer height, offset width and offset height. So only body tag is supported here. Okay. First, let me ask the difference between all these. One second. Why it is not being copied? Always keep pressing of the window. Yes. Difference between all these when using on resize. Client width and client height. These properties give the inner dimension of the element, excluding borders, margins, and scroll bars. Okay. Useful for measuring the space available for the content inside an element. Okay. Inner width and these properties refer to within a browser viewport, the visible area of the web page, including scroll bars but excluding any toolbars or window Chrome. Okay. Useful for understanding the size of viewport, determining how to lay out a responsive design. Okay. And the outer width are provide the property of the entire browser, including the window borders. Okay, I think I should add this one to my specifically the first one. Client width and copy it. Will also copy this thing. Too. Next, inner width and inner height. Should I copy it? No harm. Refer to height and width of browser visible, including strong. Oh. And this last one, offset width. including padding, border, and this. Okay. One second, I could have this. Offset dimension of including padding and borders. I think I missed this one. Outer width and outer. Provide the width and height of the entire browser window, including the Windows border, title bar, and any other group, scroll bar. Okay, good, good. Do we have to learn anything? Let's ask the quiz. Just sleep. Mhm. So, which event and the trigger? Oh, ask me harder question on research. B. Ask me questions. Mhm. Okay. And yes, it is indeed an harder question. Function apply update display size display. Side display is the get element by ID. So it side display is a div itself. Width equal to width inner width. Okay, inner height. Size dot text content equal to width, which is a function which updates to this value, and height which updates to this value. And add event listener resize, and on resizing we are running a function update size display. Okay, this will suffice. Okay, so we are done with this on resize event. Let's move to next on blur event, which is a very simple thing. When we select something, for example, when this omni bar is highlighted, and if we remove our focus from that omni bar, it will be said as unblur or on blur, on unblur. On blur event is the focus of on focus event. So basically we are getting out of focus, hence we are getting on blur. Okay, focus lost. Okay, good. Okay, and that's all. Let's quickly do a quiz, but this time we will prompt it directly to ask harder questions. Okay, copy it, paste it to the prompt box, ask ask questions, please. On blur trigger cinnamon node focus. A. Okay, so it is asking the same thing. but we will go through the JavaScript way. And we will update the code as well. So this is the code. Get element by ID, email input. To handle the on blur event and validate the email forward. If invalid, okay. So I think we need to use the regex and if conditions as well in the code. Let's see. Yes, we have to indeed use regex. So what we are doing here is getting the input. Then we are testing it against the regex. If it doesn't match with pattern, then we will check. Else we pass this. Okay, I think we have missed a single thing that we are using the on click function here. On click, sorry, on blur. One second, where we are using the blur. Okay, okay, document.get element blur. Okay, I think another challenge would suffice. And another one. Let's see what it will ask us next. You have to export when the field is on with the input is empty display. Okay, quite like similar one. Validate username document.get element by id username input const username error equal to document.get element by id username error username error dot text content equal to nothing. Check if input is empty. If is nothing, then username cannot be input. Okay. Good. So let me recall this all the things that are going in this function. So we are creating a function called validate username. We are defining a variable username input as well as username error. The username input will store the ID, will store the element by the ID username input. Okay, so here is our username input, the input field, and the paragraph field which has an ID of username error which is stored in the second variable. Okay. First, we are clearing any previous error message. So username dot error. So in the paragraph, we are using the updating the text content to none, nothing. So it will be empty. Then we are checking if the text is empty because the function will only run when a user loses its focus. Hence, it will check if the after trimming all the empty spaces is the text box is empty. If this is empty, then it will fill the text content with username cannot be empty, else nothing will be happen. And then we are tying this function to the actual element, and thus this code completes. And similarly, this web page also gets completed. Next is on change event. Let's tackle that too. Okay, on change event occur when the value of an element has been changed. It also works with radio button check boxes when the check state has been changed. It is similar to on input event, but the only difference is that on input event occurs immediately after the value of element has been changed, while the on change occurs when the element loses focus. Okay. Value C, Java, HTML, Python. Okay. Lang select dot value. Okay. Okay. It is quite funny. DOM email in on change function which dot get in the x dot value to lowercase. So making everything lowercase. Just as soon the function the uh, input box loses its focus. And hence the article has finished. Let's go with they logged out. Input select dot text area element change. Obviously on change. Okay, you have a drop down menu section in div section. Want to display the div element. Okay, let's ask GPT for this one. Actually, it is just asking me this code. No, no, sorry. This one. This one. We just have to update this using value. Okay, now we have comma separated values. Okay, now we have to do some splicing or slicing of the list. Let's see how we can conquer this. And ChatGPT is master of these kind of things. It will only lose focus if you assign a complete project to this. So we can actually learn very small things, and which will turn to a big mansion if we start by collecting topics by brick. Okay, so what we are getting is value inputs, input error, which will be displayed in the paragraph, and a value list which will be displayed in this listed section. Okay, first clearing the previous message, text content nothing. Next, we will trim the values, so white space will be removed. Checking if the value is empty. If it is empty, input cannot be empty. If the values are separated using comma, we are using dot split method to separate. And then mapping, so split will certainly gives us an array, and we are getting every value of an array, and then still trimming it, then filtering if the value is available. If the value is available, then the value is assigned to that value. Okay, and value array is for each value we are creating a list, then assigning the list item to that value, and then we are appending this new list to that paragraph, this list, unordered list, to value list, and hence we are completing this. I think it is advised by ChatGPT, it will certainly going to pass that. So I am going to skip, and let's continue to focus event. And the focus event is just opposite of on blur event, so I'm very sure that we will learn nothing new. Related target, it returns the target element related to elements triggered a focus. This value is default set to null due to security reasons. It is a read only property. Okay, before clicking the text area, and after clicking, this is shown as a console log. Okay, and that's all. While I was in break, I actually heard a song called Pillow of Winds by the same band Pink Floyd from the album Medal. It's a great song to sleep to, and I will certainly, after finishing this video, I will certainly play that song and fade into sleep, because my eyes are closing with this sleep right now. Which event is triggered when I again focus on focus? A, ask harder question. You have a form with input field for username and password. You want to display a message when password is if the username is empty, prompting user to fill the username. Okay. Okay. Let's ask him. So what we are doing here is check username on. We are defining a new function in which first we are assigning some variables to tie to the input fields. Username input tied to this username. Okay. Then focus message, which is tied to this paragraph element. Okay. And focus message or first we are clearing the previous message, then checking if the user field name is empty. If after trimming all the empty spaces, if it's still null, then we are focus message, we are adding a message to this paragraph called please fill in your username first. Okay, and now we are attaching this to, and nothing else. We are doing nothing fancy here. Some people will certainly comment, if they watch this video till now, that I should write the code with my own hand. But please try to understand here. Coding is about logic. As per I know, it may be possible that I know nothing at all, but if as per I know, coding is all about logic. The syntax can be done and will be and is doing getting already done using the simple GPT. I can always, if something is online, then I can always copy the syntax of the functions from the random website, even ChatGPT, Bing GPT, or every other any platform. Even I have the what is it LLM model installed on my system using a application called I'm sorry, Llama, Olama, Olama. Sorry, it cannot be run directly with, but it can certainly be run using the console, the terminal. Olama. Okay, so we cannot connect a Lava version because I've turned it off due to save some RAM on my PC. So basically, we have an LLM stored already in our system. So we don't need to remember syntax. We just have to be able to actually understand what the syntax is doing. It's not about writing the syntax, it's about writing the logic, how you will handle the problem. And the way that I'm explaining, at first we are doing this, then this, and this is the how we are tackling the problem. Actually, if you feel that this is great, then actually it's great. And if you don't, you can certainly uh, comment me out a better way. Or if you believe that some other method is more pure or more working on. Okay, enough lectures. Let's continue to clipboard event. The clipboard event refers to all event which occurs when the clipboard is modified. All the properties and methods are inherited from the event object. There are three main clipboard events: copy, cut, and paste. Okay. Okay. Next is cut. On copy, on cut, on paste. And I think these are very minimal things. I'm skipping the quiz section for now because I am filled with sleep and I just want to set this video to upload and sleep. And here, the on scroll event, when a scroll bar is used, CSS overflow is used to create a scroll bar. Okay. Mm, Only this thing. Okay, okay, I understand. Let's have a quiz for this one. So I can actually understand what the on scroll thing did. And let's specifically write to this. Just ask me a hard question. You have a long web page that should only appear when the user scroll up past a certain point, and here is your HTML. Okay, now it will be fun to explore some new codes. Now, first we have to I add a function to call toggle div visibility. So the div will not be visible. So first we are getting the div using the its element ID, which is my div. Okay. Now we are checking the scroll position. If window dot scroll y is more than 300, but what is 300? 300 pixels. Let's see what we prompted. Yes, it was 300 pixels. So my div style equal to block. Show the div, and if it is not, then the my div style will be none. Hide the div. Okay. So depending on a condition, whether the scroll of y-axis refers to the vertical axis. So if it is more than 300, then it will be a block, which means it is displayed, and else it will be none, is hidden. Then we have the attached scroll event to the window. Now we are just adding it. Very easy question. Very easy question. I know, but I've already done a lecture on that. So now uh, we have completed our JavaScript event section in this video, and from now on we will look on OOPS, object oriented programming in JavaScript, and it must be a fun way or fun concept to explore. So I'm excited for the new video, even though I am in half asleep, but I'm still excited for the OOPS section of the JavaScript. Can't wait to see you in next video. Thank you for being with me. Very thank you.